We have never been slaves to anyone. The Jews' response to Jesus has quite a bit of irony, as Israelite history is the story of an oppressed people. But their quick defensiveness highlights that they don't understand how slavery comes in a variety of ways, that we can be held hostage in so many subtle ways. To sin, yes, but also to worry, regret, fear, unhealthy attachments, and so many other things. And as a result, we don't really know what freedom is either. We think we are free when Jesus is telling us, trust in me, follow me, listen me, and you'll know what true freedom is like. There is a beautiful poem attributed to the German mystic Meister Eckhart called Love Does That. It goes, all day long a little burro labors, sometimes with heavy loads on her back, and sometimes just with worries about things that bother only burros. And worries, as we know, can be more exhausting than physical labor. Once in a while, a kind monk comes to her stable and brings a pear. But more than that, he looks into the burro's eyes and touches her ears, and for a few seconds the burro is free and even seems to laugh, because love does that. Love frees. Love does that. Love frees. Obedience often has a bad rap in our society. Just think of how many people cringe when Paul's words that wives be submissive to their husbands comes up in the lectionary, myself included. But really, if we are in a healthy relationship, if love is what grounds us, then obedience to that relationship should always free us rather than enslave us. My husband and I have been having car issues over the last few months, which has felt like our own heavy load to carry as the burro carries. We have two cars that simultaneously had transmission issues, and so we've been stressing about repair costs, the extended time it has taken for work to be done, and the amount wasted on rental cars. My husband thankfully takes the lead on all this stuff, but called me one day to talk through the different options we have for one of our cars and the cost differences. I was back to back with meetings and didn't quite have the mental space to make any more decisions, and so I just said, I trust you. Go with what you think is best. I was so grateful for the freedom that came from submitting that decision process to him. This has happened in bigger ways too. We've made 2 cross-country moves in our 10 years of marriage. The first was largely driven by my ego, and we quickly realized after moving that it was not the right fit. And so when we were discerning our second move, although I was feeling resistant to it, my husband very kindly said, it's my turn, but I really do think this will be good for us. I was obedient to his desire because I know and trust that his desires are most always for our marriage, not just for his own benefit. My ego tends to get in the way of our decision-making much more than his own. He's learned to submit his personal ego to the greater project of our marriage. And so this reading prompts us to reflect on, what kind of God are you in relationship with? If the word obedience conjures up an image of God that is threatening or demanding, I'd be resistant too. But this is an invitation to be in relationship with Jesus, the one who says, come to me, all you who are weary. Lay down your burdens, find rest. The Jesus who told his disciples, you're going to do greater things than me. He knows our potential, cheers us on without any ego or competition. The Jesus who called his disciples no longer slaves, but friends. Obedience doesn't have to be scary when that's the God we're in relationship with.